Hello, students. I just want to do a quick walkthrough of the syllabus, and this is going to be quick. So please read through it and make sure that you're familiar with all of the different expectations and policies of the syllabus because there will be a quiz on it for week one. Um, but I just want to point out just a few key points. Okay, so it's asynchronous. We will not be meeting. There will not be any specific meeting times for this class, so you don't need to worry about that. But you do need to know when the due dates are, and be responsible to turn in your discussion boards, your quizzes, and your assignments all before or on the due date. Okay. Basically, this course in a nutshell is us learning about how social environment affects human behavior. So this is looking at like what are the biological, psychological, the social sort of aspects, spiritual aspects, cultural, all those things, how those kind of paint a picture of what's going on in a person's life and how that person responds or behaves in a certain way in relation to their environment. Okay. Um, the method of instruction primarily will be lecture videos. Now, I did not design this course. My one of my coworkers, Ashley Hansen, who's an incredible instructor here in the social work program, she pre-recorded a lot of the lectures for this class. I wanted to keep those because she did such a fantastic job. So if you see a different face that's not mine, that's who she is. Um, but I will also have sort of an introductory video to every module. So every week you will see me. I'll be kind of running over what's expected for the week, that sort of thing. And I'll also be the person that you reach out to. I'll be grading your papers, right? So I'm here to guide you through this entire course. Um, let's see. Make sure that you have the textbook. This is the Empowerment Series, Human Behavior in Social Environment, a Multi-Dimensional Perspective. It's the seventh edition. If you're having any challenges getting a hold of that book or it's late in coming, whatever it is, please reach out to me as soon as possible so I can be aware of that and we can do whatever we can to get you the materials that you need. This book is really important. The quizzes that you'll have in this class are based off of the readings in this book. The assignments, um, all the content that we're learning are based off the chapters of this book. So it is essential that you have it. You must have it, okay? Um, Learning objectives, again, basically, we're going to learn how the social environment affects behavior throughout the lifespan. So this is going to be from, early childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and even later in adult life. Um, how sort of we experience our environment through the ages of our development, right? And how we're going to be learning how to analyze and look at the studies, the resources that we have to understand the patterns in which people experience their social environment, and then be able to design evidence-based treatment to um, help us improve and better the lives of individuals. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. Look at your assignment schedule. Just be aware of when these due dates are. Put these in your calendar if you need to, or print this off and just keep it where somewhere where you can see it. But this is going to be really important to knowing what is due when. Okay. Um, a little like a disclaimer or advisory for this course, we will be discussing pretty heavy topics anytime you're dealing in human behavior and social work. You just come across these things. So we're going to be talking about, um, you know, childhood trauma or homelessness or political environment, right? Or maybe talk about um, some other factors like racial discrimination or gender discrimination, right? There's going to be a lot of things that you guys have either dealt with personally or you know someone who has. Um, things like mental health, depression, anxiety, all those sort of things. And so, my purpose is never to intentionally trigger anyone, but I do know that some of these topics can be very sensitive to individuals. So please reach out to me if you are having any sort of a challenge with the content of this class in trying to process it emotionally, or you're worried about a certain topic coming up that you feel is very triggering to you. I want to be a safe space where you can discuss those things and we can work something out that you might have an alternate, you know, experience or an alternate assignment or something that would be helpful. Okay. Um, excuse me. So I just want to break down some of the coursework for this class. These are going to be the assignments, the discussion boards. You'll have a topic every week and sort of a writing prompt. You will post your first discussion on Thursdays at 11, before 11:59, okay? And then there's a second part where you'll then respond to two other peers before Saturday at 11:59. Okay, so there's two different due dates each week for these discussion boards. Make sure that you're getting your discussions in on Thursday or before um and then your responses on Saturday or before. Okay. Um, again, read this in more depth just to make sure you're not missing anything. Quizzes, you will have, these are pretty straightforward. Almost every week, not quite every week. There's some weeks we don't have a quiz, but you will have a quiz that will be due by Sunday at 11:59. Okay. Give yourself plenty of time to take it though, guys. Don't wait and do it at like 11:15. Like give yourself at least an hour or more to get these quizzes in. They are 20 minutes long, unless you're a student who has accommodation, which I will know who those people are ahead of time. So, and these are based off the materials in your textbooks and in your readings, okay? Um, you're gonna be able to study four different case studies and sort of analyze um, the specific life stages again of pregnancy, infancy, early childhood, middle adulthood, and do sort of an analysis of the different factors going on in their life for that assignment. These are smaller writing assignments. Then you'll do an anti-bully program where you will develop a anti-bullying program using the SMART goals and implementing strategies. And then there's a second part where then you get to create a promotion for it. So that might be through a YouTube video, a PowerPoint, poster, those sort of things. So that's a really fun and really hands-on experience on how to disseminate important information that'll help the communities. Okay. Um, Midterm project is your personal genogram, which is super cool, super fun, and awesome. If you've never done one before, this is a really introspective assignment where you get to map out sort of the different patterns and factors that have happened in a three-generation family. So you'll use your own family um, to kind of discover, like I said, certain patterns of social environment, patterns of, maybe some mental health things, substance. It could be substance use or education, or, it doesn't necessarily have to be negative factors. It can be positive, but it's very revealing. And then you'll do a reflective paper on that. And your final project, this one's really cool because you will be able to write a paper and reflect on what sort of your own social environment has influenced you. Um, what are some of the benefits that you've kind of developed or received from it, but what are maybe some of the biases that you've learned as well, and how does that impact um, your future as a mental health worker or someone working in with people on their own challenges and trials? Okay. Um, Here's a quick look at the grading scale. You can look at that. Again, you will get out of this course what you put into it, right? This is a really impactful course. This can change people's lives. It can change your life. And so just know that, um, you know, you want to not only learn this material for yourself, but this is going to be things that are really important for other people, in your career and in your path. Um, Stay connected through Canvas announcements. So if I have any changes that I need to make or just information that I want you guys to know quickly, look at the announcements, check those often. And then also, I expect you to reach out through me through Canvas messages. Don't email me because I don't check my email as often as I will check Canvas messages. I will try to check those at least once a day, if not several times a day for Canvas messages. And I have um, my goal is to get back to you within the day, okay? If not within 24 hours, right? But I want to respond to you as quickly as I can, and that's the best way to do it. My office hours, for some reason, I couldn't change this on the syllabus. I just, for this class, my office hours are available by request. So reach out to me through Canvas. Messages, and we will set up some sort of Zoom or phone call just to be able to talk and discuss what it is that you need. Okay. Um, do, do, do. Okay. Yeah. Read through the professional communication practices. Again, just be aware of those announcements and be communicating with me as much as you can. Um, so I'll do um I will just say again for this course, the biggest thing and the biggest part of your success will be making sure you're aware of those due dates and getting your assignments in before the due dates. Okay. Um, let's talk about cheating, plagiarism, and unauthorized artificial intelligence. Again, cheating will not be tolerated in this class. There will be consequences. Plagiarism, this is mostly happens when you don't cite your work. So just be really up on how to cite your work. Make sure that you're doing it. Um, please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns about citing. I am more than happy to help you through that. And then, unless I specifically ask you to use artificial intelligence, don't do it. You don't need to do it. You're robbing yourself of a really good education. Um, by using AI to fulfill assignments. Okay, don't do it. Not only would you be robbing yourself, but you'd be robbing the people that you'll be working with in the future. And it doesn't need to be that way. So read through this very closely so you understand those policies. Um, let's see, attendance. We don't really need to worry much about that because this is an asynchronous class. The same with the electronic policy. I will say with late assignments, note that I cannot accept a late discussion board, okay? Because the nature of what it is, it's a discussion board. If you don't post anything, people can't respond to it, and so it's like broken, right? Um, so just know that you'll get 0 points if you are late on a discussion post. Um, with late assignments, it's, the first day is -5 points, second day -10, and then minus points all the way until 7 days. And then after that, it's just, um, you'll get no points. Okay. if there's any extenuating circumstances, like, if there's a death in the family or a major injury or illness or something that really prevents you from getting your work done, please reach out to me as soon as possible so I can be aware of those things and we can discuss and work something out. Um, so yeah, just know that like I'm here for you and I want to help you. Okay, and then finally, I just want to discuss like in this class, we're going to be coming from all sorts of different backgrounds. Um, that biopsychosocial aspect is real for us too, right? So we all of us are going to have different experiences, different ways we interpret things. We're going to have different opinions, and that's wonderful. We need that. We need to be able to discuss our difference of opinions. But let's do it in a very respectful, kind way, right? Let's do it in using a very kind and approachable tone, kind language, those sort of things, so that we can help people grow, right? Because people grow best when they feel safe. People don't grow when they feel threatened. And so let's just do our best to create that positive environment for each other. Gender pronouns, name preferences. Please, if there's any specific pronoun or name that you would like me to address you by, please do so. I also want to give you full permission if ever, for any reason, I make a mistake on a pronoun or a name, please correct me. I'm totally open to that, and I want to make sure that um, I'm allowing people to show up and be themselves in the best way possible. Okay, so um, microaggressions. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is just know that microaggressions typically happen with well-meaning people. Okay, these sort of statements, stereotypes, those sort of things, they usually happen when we're not even really aware of it. So my greatest invitation to you is just be very conscious of the way that you're talking about different groups and people. Um, and if you ever catch yourself using a microaggression or someone might point it out to you, just humbly accept that and say like, "Oh wow, you know what? I didn't know that the way I said this would be offensive." That happens to us all. I think the best things that we can do as humans and as neighbors is to just catch those things and say, okay, how can I be open in my understanding, and be careful to represent people in a way that is healing for them. Okay. So, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. The only thing I wanted to show you, again, read through all the institutional policies. Oh, and know that there is resources for you, whether it's tutoring, learning support, but there's also emotional resources uh, through Salt Lake Community College, right? So if you're having a hard time, you're struggling with things, know that you have access and support um, from the college itself, and I would be happy to connect you with those resources if you need them, okay? Finally, take a look at the syllabus, this course schedule. This is a really great thing. You might even want to print this last page out and stick it on your fridge or wherever you would see it. This is just going to outline each week of what is, where we're at in the module, what the topic is, what the readings are, which quiz you're going to be on, and what assignments are due that week. This is a huge resource in just making sure that you're aware of it, because I think that's one of the biggest challenges of online classes is you have to be the one to meet those due dates and those deadlines, okay? Okay, that was the syllabus in a nutshell. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me via Canvas messages, and I hope you have a wonderful week.